Yo, what's good? What's poppin'? New Mystery School, man. We're gonna get into a lesson today, and in today's lesson, we're gonna talk about the hidden secrets of mathematics. All right. So let's just jump right in. One thing to take in consideration in this lesson is to understand two terms. The first term is quantitative data. Okay, and the second term is qualitative data. All right. Now, what quantitative and qualitative data is, they're two different methods of categorizing and obtaining information or data. So there's two different groups: quantitative and qualitative. Okay. So when you have a quantitative method of gathering or dividing or categorizing data. Quantitative data are things that are very tangible and they can be calculated. Like measurements is quantitative data, like saying something is a certain length. Weight, anything that you can attach a numeric value to, that you can easily input into an equation, can be considered quantitative data. The difference between quantitative and qualitative data are things that aren't easily measured, but still the same, have a lot of information in it. So if you ask someone an open-ended question in a survey, that's qualitative data, asking someone to describe something, even though it may not be an exact description, but it is still obtained, it still holds information that can be used or vitalized later down the line. Okay, so the reason why I bring up the difference between quantitative and qualitative data is because it's important to understand that you can apply this in mathematics. In fact, a lot, not only in mathematics, but in life in general, and especially in how you can decode mysteries in the universe. Now, I would like to mention that a lot of times in the conscious community or even in other scientific circles, people always want to throw around this word, pseudoscience, when that word has been abused, and that word is probably one of the most misused words that I've heard in a very long time, especially of late with all the information that's coming out and people trying to figure things out. They feel like if they can't read it in a book, or if you can't factually prove it, then it's pseudoscience, and that just is not correct, because qualitative data can't be proved a lot of times, but it's still a very useful technique in science. All right. So that's just important. That's just a sidebar. I'm totally just throwing that personal jab in to all you conscious community cats. All right. So the way that to give you an example of quantitative versus qualitative data would be, say a doctor has a patient, right? A doctor has a patient. The patient comes in and the doctor says, "Well, what's going on? Tell me how you feel, son." And little Bobby say, "Oh, well, I'm very nauseated. More than likely, I feel like I'm going to throw up right before I go to sleep. In the morning, I'm okay though. During the day, it's off and on, but primarily at night, I feel like I want to throw up all the time." All right. So what little Bobby just did was called qualitative data. Qualitative data. So he didn't say specifically what the problem is, but he gave the doctor enough information for him to go off of. Now, what Quantitative data would be in that situation if the doctor ran some tests, some blood test or whatever, took some type of stool test or did some type of whatever doctors do, right? And he found out, well, in Bobby's lower intestine, there are approximately 5 centimeters of his intestine that is inflamed with about 0.3 milligrams of bacteria, which is causing Bobby to feel nauseated. And the reason why this happens at night is because he eats cookie dough right before he goes to sleep. Whatever the case may be, I'm just saying, right? So that specific way of diagnosing what the problem was, which you would call quantitative data, but they're both the same thing. One is measurable, one is not measurable. Period. That's kind of just how it boils down. Okay. Now, the reason why I bring all of this up is because in math we're taught in a very quantitative way. We're taught that 1 plus 2 equals 3. That's what we're taught in math. This is a quantitative. I don't know if I'm spelling this right. Quantitative. Is that how you spell quantitative? This is a quantitative way of doing math. But what they don't tell us is that math isn't just for counting and doing equations and figuring out numbers and stuff like that. Math has a qualitative element to it, and that is the hidden mystery to math, and that's what we're going to get into right now. I had to give you the little precursor. Now we finna get into the meat of this shit, you know what I'm saying, and break it down for real. All right. Okay. So we're taught in math. We're given formulas like or equations or variables like we'll say they'll tell you A plus B equals C. And these are what you will call variables, right? Because they're like, well, A can mean 2, right? A can equal 2, B can equal 3, and if that was the case, C would equal 5. But this can also be changed because A can be equaling 7 and B can equal 8 and that can equal and C can equal 15 because these are what you want to call variables. Okay? All right. So, but what they don't tell you is how to use these variables. They just teach you this shit in school and they'd be like, okay, well, go get a job. Right? Go get a job. You know how to do A plus B equals C. Okay, go get a job. They don't teach you that this is how you unlock the mysteries of the unknown and how to unlock the mysteries of the universe and more simply put, how to connect them dots. So we finna get into how to connect them dots, all right? So since those are variables and you can input that with any type of numeric value, they don't tell you that you can input those variables with life situations. Yeah, life situations. So I'm going to show you how to use math but not use numbers. Okay? This is the secret, the hidden secrets of mathematics. Call it pseudoscience if you want to. All right? All right. So let's just say we have A plus B equals C. Right? But we'll say that A is African Americans. I'm just coming up with something, whatever African American actually means, because I don't even know what that title really stands for. Whatever, right? Right? That's A. Right? Then we'll say B equals unlawful police murders. Right? All right. So we got African Americans, unlawful police murders. So what is C gonna equal? Huh? I'll wait. I'll see if somebody answer that. Oh, y'all ain't gonna answer it? Okay. So if we have black people, then we have police killing black people. What does that do? That gives black people or African Americans a collective consciousness. I'm writing at a weird angle, so I know that's going to be very hard to read. And my handwriting is terrible, so collective consciousness. And what this could be is most African Americans in their right mind will be like, this is wrong. This is wrong. And it doesn't even have to be African Americans. I mean, most people can see that when you have African Americans and unlawful police murders, that's wrong. So the collective consciousness is that this is something that's wrong. Most people with common sense can say that this is wrong because it's just not natural. All right? All right. All right. Erase that. Feel good having a dry erase board. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I can bring it back. All right. So C equals collective consciousness. All right. That's from the merge. So let's change the variables and the value, quote unquote, or situation, circumstance, mystery, whatever, and we'll change it up. So now we'll say X plus Y equals Z. All right. So we'll say for X, X is we'll say X equals, I don't know, Hillary Clinton. Right? And then we'll say Y equals we'll say Y is the elections outcome. Translation, Trump winning. Right? Trump wins. I'm writing at a weird angle, so if you can't read that, that's the election's outcome. My handwriting is terrible. All right. So what does Z equal? What does Z equal? What does Z equal? Another collective Ousness. Another collective consciousness. And I'm being very, very, very vague here because I can say this could be collective consciousness with the masses, or this could be collective consciousness in the African American community. I can say different things, but I'm being very, very, very general here. All right. We'll just say with the masses. You know what I'm saying? Now, watch this. So, just like how we have the X plus Y equals Z, and before we had A plus B equals C. those are kind of like common denominators. These are all mathematical phrases here, but these phrases go a little bit past which we would want to call math. All right. All right. We can use these terms and things other than math. So we had collective consciousness, collective oh, I think I'm missing something. Look, I'm gonna spell this right. I promise I'm gonna spell this right. ONSCIOUSNESS. Consciousness. I think that's how you spell it. CONSCIOUSNESS. I'm pretty sure. If not, don't even stunt that. All right. Common denominators. You know what I'm saying? Because you can say that Z equals C, right? Z equals C, and these are common denominators. Common denominators. We've heard this term used before. You see what I'm saying? So when you have common denominators, you can start to use what is taking place. You can start to use the things that are similar, or the similar outcomes of certain events, to start to cancel out or cross-reference the how would you say to figure out the rest of the formula. You see, so if this was a new set, we'll say this was Q and this was R, then you would use your common denominators to cross-reference to figure out what Q and R is. And Q and R could be anything like I'm just going off the top of the head here. So if these are common denominators, the collective consciousness of the people of the two different situations, you can have Q could equal the NSA, right? The National Security Act. Q can equal that. Because you're seeing that because there are two common denominators, so that we see from two different formulas. So what does that mean? How do we even get to these two common denominators? And then we can find other things. And R could equal WikiLeaks. You know what I'm saying? But as you see where I'm going with this is because all of this ties in. So you have the NSA, you have this being the NSA over collective consciousness, and this being WikiLeaks over collective consciousness. But then you can see how these even tie in together in some form. You know what I mean? Just because of these being two things that are the same but have different, I forgot what you call these top parts, but they will have similar things. And using these type of tactics and techniques, right? And this is all off the top of the head, you know what I'm saying? But this is just something that kind of how my brain works, to kind of give you a insight to that. Simple techniques and tactics, and actually exposing the hidden the hidden secrets of mathematics, but also coupling the hidden side of mathematics with something called a concept map. A concept map is how you can use critical thinking and how to categorize it effectively to couple that with the qualitative connotation of mathematics. So a concept map would be having an idea and then splitting that idea into something else, and then the something else was split into other ideas. This is all critical. My spelling is terrible because I can't spell. Critical thinking, but you know what it is, right? All right, so like this would be, let's just say this is an example that I've seen online. Bodies of water. Bodies of water. Then you could break down bodies of water of fresh and salt water. You know what I'm saying? Salt water. And then from the fresh water and the salt waters, like this would be rivers, deltas. You know what I mean? Oceans, seas. See what I'm saying? But this is just, I'm just showing you guys this. So, it can kind of give you the tools you'll need to connect the dots for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because, even though I drop videos, and I connect the dots, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a lot of work for you. But the way that this is going to work in the new mystery school is for everyone to do it. Because no one person is going to have all the answers. You know what I'm saying? And somebody's going to miss something or whatever. So, for this collective consciousness thing to work, we all got to work. It can't just be a group of people who doing all of it and then everyone just saying, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that sounds right. That's why everybody's trying to debate everybody. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about those, I'm not talking about the conscious community debates. I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a whole bunch of historians arguing about the same thing. And what I mean by the same thing is you just pick your part in history that you want to side with, and you're going to argue about a part that you haven't heard of. So that's all that is. But I hope that this whole thing gave you a better sense of how to connect the dots in a very systematic type of way, right? And most importantly, how to critical think. See, this is going to be the easy way instead of me misspelling. I'm just going to make it pop up right there to how to critically think. And you know what I'm saying? And so everyone can help out with this connecting the dots thing, because I'm a dot, you a dot, he a dot, she a dot, they some dots, you know what I'm saying? And we just some dots, you know what I'm saying? We need to connect this thing and get it popping. All right, till next time, peace.